It's Evert Silva, better known as Big Daddy Ev, here with a video so y'all can get to know who I am on Ben's series of Who is Blank. Shout out to Supreme for sponsoring this video on their next drop this coming Thursday. Type in code Evert69 to get 50% off your next purchase. So I was born in Acapulco, Mexico. Mexico, I should say. My dad came to the United States when I was 3, and then so I was away from him for a year, and then me and my mom came when I was 4.5, and then we got to the United States and kind of settled in. My dad started working with one of my uncles and just like anyone he could find doing landscaping stuff. My mom's worked in the fields, and yeah, now my dad has his own landscaping company, which is going well for him. And yeah, so I played soccer my whole life up until my sophomore year of high school. I had a small kind of injury. It was a back injury. I had like some nerves that were messed up. But eventually I was sidelined because of it. I was on the bench for like my whole preseason of sophomore year. And I was never a bench player, so having been on the bench, I was like, that's not what I want to do. So then I decided to give up soccer and started running because that's the other thing I know I was good at. I did it in 6th grade. I was pretty good. Did it in 8th grade, and then didn't like start fully running till sophomore year. Yeah, I wasn't really good. I spent a lot of time on the internet just like researching all the big names like Grant Fisher, Drew Hunter, things like that, trying to get better. I was talented enough to where no matter what I did, I was gonna keep progressing. And by the time my junior came around, I was dropping my time significantly. And so my junior year, if you guys don't know who Lalo is, he runs at the University of Colorado. He's from not the same city, but we're in the same section. He lives in Madera, which is 30 minutes away from Fresno. He was really good, and he was one of the top runners in the country, like his junior and senior year. One goal I set out for myself that I knew like if I could get close to it, I would set myself up for like a bright future in running, was to beat Lalo. And my junior year, when I realized that like I could actually be good, because people set out goals, but sometimes you don't fully believe it. And there was a race. It was called the Rough Rider Invite. It was a local meet, but it was pretty big for our section. I ended up running 15:46, and Lalo beat me by like 2 seconds. And so whenever you come 2 seconds of someone who used to beat you by like 40 plus seconds, I was like, all right, now we're getting somewhere. And I was like, now everything I actually set out to accomplish is like in the palm of my hands. My biggest goal was to try to beat Lalo before he left to college. And so fast forward to my track season junior year, he tripled. He tried to pull off like a section record that Blake Haney attempted, or Blake Haney is the only person who'd ever done it. And so I decided to only focus on the 2 mile to give me the best chance to beat him, because he was going to be 2 races deep, and I didn't beat him. I got worked. But then we qualified as a state meet, and I ended up beating him by like 8 seconds. I ran 9:02 for like a 16-second PR. He ran 9:10, but he did double in the mile. No shade at Lalo, but once I beat him, then I was like, I can pretty much accomplish anything I want to do my senior year. And Lalo had made NXN, and then he made the Adidas Dream Mile. And I was like, well, I want to make NXN because it looks fun. And then I was like, I also want to make Brooks. So then my senior year came around. I had a pretty good regular season. The state meet comes around, and for you guys don't know how NXN qualification works in California, it's the top 5 individuals from all divisions. And so in my division, I was D3. I got 4th. I was in 1st place with 100 to go, and then I just went full noodle. When I crossed the line, I was dead. I could not see anything. I was passed out on the ground, and then I was like, for sure did not qualify. And I started crying because like it was like right there for me to qualify, and then I blew it. So I was like 8th overall. It was like Cooper, Callum, a bunch of guys. I was 8th, but 2 guys opted out to go to Foot Locker regionals, and then 1 guy made it with his team, and so that put me in the 5th position. But I didn't find out till later that night. I got a call, and then they were like, you made an exam, this and that, and I was like, no fucking way. And then so that was another thing, like I said I would do it, and I did. And then so my next goal was to make Brooks, and so track season came around. Ben registered me for the race like 2 days late because my coach didn't want to put me in. And so Ben acted like my coach and smuggled me into the race. Luckily, the meet director let me in. The way that one worked is you had to win the race in order to get an automatic ticket to Brooks. And I was going up against Michael Burnell. If y'all don't know him, I'm pretty sure I do. He runs at Stanford, was a California standout. And the week prior, had been Arcadia. He ran 8:50 for the 2 miles. I ran 8:53. So I was like, he's not that much better than me. Only by this much. And me, Ben, Cooper, we like talked about it for the whole week leading up to him. We're like, you just got to sit on him and then like out kick him, because no shade, Michael. They were like, you don't have the best kick. 'Cause I don't have a great kick, but so yeah, that was the plan. We went out in 4:30. He started picking it up. I stayed on him. And then with the lap to go, or actually like 2:50 to go, I made a move. And Michael held me off for so long. And I was like, I thought I said he couldn't kick. And then I got in front of him with 1:50 to go, and I was like he's broken. And I don't know if you guys have watched the race video, but I looked back at least 10 times in the last 100 meters, because I was like, I was in shock. I was like, I'm about to go to Seattle, and then I was like, I actually pulled this off like I said I would, and the way we talked about it. So one thing I wouldn't, not encourage, but like if you speak what you want to accomplish into existence, and you actually believe in it, it can and it will happen as long as you put the work in. Fast forward from high school, I committed to Portland, moved in, and got there. I always wanted to go to college in Oregon. Obviously, as any runner, your first, like, you dream about running for the University of Oregon. But when that wasn't gonna work out, and I had an offer from Portland, I was like, why not? And Portland's a better city than Eugene, so that's a plus. So far my career at Portland it's gone well, way better than I expected it to go. It's a unique group of individuals. It's 40 guys, which is super huge for a cross-country team. We don't have a track team. Definitely one of my favorite people in Portland is Rob Connor, the head coach. That guy is, in my eyes, one of the top coaches in the country, not just like in terms of running, but as a person in general. I know y'all hear this a lot of the times, but when people say that a coach is like a father figure, sometimes they just say it to be nice. But y'all know I talk the truth all the time. I don't be lying to y'all. So when this guy is like a father figure, he's taking care of me really well. This guy will do anything and everything he can for all of his athletes. To also fulfill my like dream of like visiting Oregon. I didn't travel much growing up. My family didn't have like the funds to do it. We didn't really have time to do it. But I was like, if I can spend 4 years somewhere I've always wanted to live, like, why not? Shout out Ellen Mackinson, my athletic advisor. She has saved my world so many times. I have 2.5 years left, depending on how COVID and the eligibility we get back. Yeah, some highlights. I've ran 13:48 in the 5K, 4:05 in the mile. Not that good, I know. Shut up. 8:02 in the 3K. Also not that great, I know. But trust me, in the next coming seasons, if y'all have seen my post with Cooper and Cole Sprout, I said we are the future of the NCAA, so mark my words. If I could do it, an immigrant who's undocumented came here with nothing and made something out of nothing, any of y'all can do it. No matter how slow you think you are, if you're fast, and even better, but as long as you put the work in, you will keep climbing. There's never been anyone who's put in a bunch of hard work and failed. Nobody. Don't be discouraged by haters, people that say people like you don't make it, people like you don't survive in college, this and that. Fuck them. Trust me, I've heard it firsthand. I'm not gonna say from who, but y'all know who y'all are. One thing about me though is I don't give a damn what people say about me. Like, I've accomplished so much of things I said I would do. So when people talk, all it is just talk. I'm gonna keep using my voice to, put on for the Mexican community, every person that is at a disadvantage, kind of. I know a lot of people don't like it, but deep down they're racist, they're prejudiced. They don't like to see people that aren't supposed to make it do well in this country. So everyone that's supported, there's been a lot of y'all that send really nice messages. So trust me, I see it. Thank y'all. To everyone that dislikes it, fuck off. You guys have heard my story. Y'all have seen me run. You guys have seen my social medias. I know y'all see my posts. Thank y'all. Subscribe. like, comment, share with everybody you know, your mama, your daddy, your bald-headed granny. And last but not least, if you made it to the end of this video, Black Lives Matters. Quit being little racist assholes. Thank you.
Yeah. I love you, bro.